Hello everyone and welcome back to a new review. Today we're talking about a very interesting budget phone. So let's begin. The phone in question is this Motorola Moto G85. And it costs around $300 here in Romania, Eastern Europe. I bought it for my mother and I had a few criteria in mind. Big screen, lightweight, and powerful enough to play some games like Candy Crush. I've been using it for a week together with my S24 Ultra and it actually made me think about some things. Let's see how it is. I'll start with the package and design. And the first thing that comes into my mind is the lack of a charging brick. Shame on you, Motorola. But on the bright side, it comes with a simple silicone case on it. And that made me smile a bit. No screen protector applied, but that is fine to me. And apart from that, the package contains an USB-A to an USB-C cable, some paperwork, and a SIM ejector tool. When I got it out of the eco sealing, then the case, I was honestly impressed. This phone is gorgeous. Slim, light, the camera bump seamlessly integrated on the back, plus the rings around the lenses. I gotta say, it reminds me of the Samsung Galaxy S8 up to an extent, and I love it. The most beautiful phone I've tested so far. It is all plastic, but it is solid, and it feels better than expected. The screen is quite curved. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but it's a small compromise for what you get. And it also makes the phone feel thinner. Speaking of the screen, we talk about a very nice POLED with a 120Hz adaptive refresh rate and a peak brightness of 1600 nits. You'll hardly get to that value, but it is bright enough for any scenario. 6.67 inches in size with a full HD plus resolution, so you get around 395 pixels per inch. And that's fine, you won't notice the pixels unless you like pixel peeping. But I believe that you won't look at your phone like this all the time. Let's be real. The colors are nice, vibrant, but accurate, and I have to say, we've come a long way. An OLED like this, on a cheap phone like this, amazing. And trust me, this panel will not disappoint you. Under the display, we find a fingerprint scanner, which is optic. I would say it is functional, doesn't really miss. The number of failures is pretty much the same with the one on my Samsung, which has an ultrasonic scanner. The main downside of an optical fingerprint sensor, though, is the speed. It takes a bit until it makes sure that your finger is there. But it's normal and it's not so bad. As I said, it works, it will do the job. The setup experience was fine, as usual, easy and intuitive. I didn't transfer anything to it, so it took around 20 minutes to finish setting up everything. Under the hood, we meet a Snapdragon 6S Gen 3, a glorified 695 basically. 6 nanometers with 2 performance cores and 6 efficiency ones. Mine is being paired with 8 GB of RAM, but Motorola says it can add up to 24 GB of additional RAM. How good is that? I don't know, but it should be helpful. I also got 256 GB of storage, so until now, no complaints. I did not give a lot of chances to the chip, but we will see a bit later if I was wrong. Now, let's talk about the day-to-day usage. The overall experience is highly linked with the screen, so in this case, absolutely nothing bad to report. It is smooth, fast and snappy throughout the interface and some social media apps. Twitter looks good, Instagram and Facebook as well. Even though you might see some lags here and there, I believe those are because of the apps, not the phone. I get them on my S24 Ultra as well, so yeah. With normal use, it is not getting warm at all, and if you keep it in the provided case, it will stay good and secure in your hand. It is comfortable, as it is not too wide. We have a 20:9 aspect ratio, and it is quite light as well. All in all, I did not encounter any specific issue at this chapter. I'm actually quite impressed. It feels like a flagship, and that's mainly due to the screen quality. Even though this phone, it is made for normal stuff, like the ones we just talked about earlier, I didn't want to stop there. I've used it in pretty much the same way I use my Samsung, with a few exceptions. So, let's talk about the maximum performance you can get out of this boy right here. I'll begin with giving you some benchmarks result, just for the sake of it. So we have Geekbench 6 and Antutu right here, and as you can see, the results are not really promising, which is normal. As I said, this 695 or 6S Gen 3 is closer to that lower end area rather than the middle range. So let's give it some real life scenarios and see how it did. Gaming wise, I'm impressed. Asphalt Legends Unite runs at maximum settings with no issue. Obviously, when you install the game, the settings will be set up for the middle ground, which is still great. If you want to max them out, before you do that, it will warn you that it is not recommended for obvious reasons, but it still works. And no, doesn't really lag. I mean, yes, probably you don't get those 60 FPS all the time, but the 1% low is around that 30 FPS mark, just enough. And I'd say you don't even need to go to the maximum. You can just keep the basic settings and trust me, you'll be more than happy. Need for Speed no limits, again, no issues. A solid 30 to 35 FPS overall, and you get the shadows and the reflections and everything included. Obviously, maybe you'll encounter hiccups here and there, but the experience is great overall. I also played EA Sports FC, online versus players. All good, smooth and everything, just bear in mind that you need a decent internet connection for that. Genshin Impact also works pretty well, at least 30 FPS most of the time, but I can't see what the settings are. It looks good though. Games like Subway Surfers or Rush Royale won't have any issues running, and from my experience, the phone doesn't really get hot. It gets warm, yeah, that's true, but bearable. The only thing that I didn't really like was the speaker's positioning. I was covering the bottom one most of the time, and that was affecting the sound quite a lot. Overall though, for $300, this is so good. Good job, Motorola. Now, cameras. We have two on the back, plus the selfie. The main camera hosts a 50 megapixel sensor from Sony, 1 per 195 inches, so not the biggest, but it comes with optical image stabilization. The photo results are decent, you get enough details, and if you have good lighting, you will be more than happy. I see that it tried to expose as much as it can everywhere. It will not bother with processing the shadows a lot, but against powerful light, it will do its best to compensate. Colors are as neutral as they can. I don't see the phone trying to saturate too much, and I personally like that. And if you are more of an enthusiast, you can use the Pro mode and shoot in RAW as well. As for the processing time, it will take a bit. You can feel the cheaper processor here, but I believe that photos, overall, look very good for what you pay. The night mode is also doing a decent job. I usually don't really care about it, as long as it makes the photo brighter, without bringing too many artifacts in the frame. And in this case, I'm personally happy with it. The wide camera hosts a pretty poor 8 megapixel sensor, and the difference between this and the main camera is pretty big. And honestly, I don't really care. I'm happy the main camera does a good job. And to me, that's what really matters at this price range. The 32 megapixel selfie camera is okay. The selfies will look good. The portrait mode is also doing a decent job, even though it misses quite a few times in places harder to process. Something normal when you have that much processing power behind the cameras. Video performance in good light is also decent on the main camera, even though it can only do Full HD 60 FPS. I guess the chip can handle more. But the OIS is there and it does a job. Not the best honestly, but it does a job. In low light it starts to struggle, but do we really care? As long as you give it a good light or a light source, whatever is around that will be looking decent enough. Do not expect wonders though. And that's pretty much for the cameras. You let me know if you like the results or not. It comes with Android 14 out of the package, and it should have at least 1 or 2 years of major software releases. It should also come with 2 to 3 years of security patches, and for the price, that's good enough. Motorola's implementation is very close to the stock Android or the Google Android, and I like it. Keep it simple and smooth. There is some bloatware as well, but nothing compared with other brands. And speaking of bloatware, since when did Google have so many apps pre-installed on a phone? Like, there are literally 15. How many do I use? 5 or 6, maybe 7. When it comes to the sound, we have 2 speakers for a stereo configuration and Dolby Atmos as well. Now, I do not expect a lot from them, but they are loud and quite clear overall. With Dolby Atmos on, you can feel that surround sound sometimes, but do not expect it to do wonders. It will also work quite well with a pair of headphones. The battery is not great, not terrible. I could get at the end of the day with it and have something like a 30% remaining, so all good for me. However, keep in mind that I played a lot of games, I did a lot of photos, videos and stuff like that. So for a more normal usage, it will probably last you more than a day, I would say close to 2 days. It can be charged with a maximum of 30 watts, which is good, but does not include a charger in the box. I use my 18 watts brick to charge it from 0 to 100, and these are the results that I got. In the first 30 minutes, it got to 36%, and it was pretty warm. After 1 hour, I got to 67%, and it was warmer, but I knew it's going to cool down. I got to 100 after 1 hour and 50 minutes, so we can see that it will charge at maximum speed for the first hour, then it will take it easier. Now, 1 hour and 50 minutes is not great, but if you get a 30 watts charger, that might go down to something like 1 hour and 20. For a quick charge, 36% in 30 minutes is also not great, but it should be enough, I guess. I'm doing 12 hours shift at work and I keep the charger with me all the time. So when I charge it, I keep it there for at least 1 hour. Okay, now let's draw a line and see where we are. So for $300, you get a beautiful phone, slim and light, with a good screen, smooth UI, good with games, decent cameras and decent sound. You can definitely see where they've cut costs. No metal whatsoever, no glass on the back, all plastic. Apart from the main camera, no other stunning hardware. USB 2 standard, the cheaper processor, plus other small details, like a vaping chamber, for example. But despite all of this, the Moto G85 is literally like 3 times and something cheaper than my S24 Ultra. And it will do at least 60% of the jobs just as good. I personally love it and I recommend it 100%. Meanwhile, I want to hear your opinion about this phone. What do you think about it? And if you got one, how does it work for you? Or if there's any other phone that you would recommend me or to other people, please let us know. I'm waiting for your answers down below in the comment section. That's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and as always, if you like our content, a like and a share would be much appreciated. I'll see you guys next week. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.